And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you're listening. It's the 31st, 2026, July. Tomorrow's August. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Adam for doing the show yesterday. As I told you, a very close friend passed away suddenly. His name's Richard Unger, brother of one of my best friends in life, Jeff Unger. And you know, there's cliches about people all the time. Oh, he's the nicest, this, that, and the other thing. Never said a bad word about anybody. The whole story. That was Richard, in a nutshell. One of the nicest, sweetest people I have met in my lifetime, and had a heart attack like 6 or 7 years ago, and from what I was told, I was not there, the doctors came out and did not think he was making it through the night. Ended up with open heart, I think they said 9 stents, and had another 6-7 years, and heart gave out. The world works in a mysterious way, taking some of the sweetest, nicest people you will ever meet too early. I won't do the other side of that statement. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it. The friends and family spoke, the eulogies. I hope people can talk about me the way they talked about him. That's the best way I can put it. Anyway, thanks, Adam, for doing the show yesterday. I'm up in NYC right now. If I sound a little different, maybe I sound like in a tunnel, hey, sorry. We have this app that's on the iPhone. And when I'm up here at a week at a time, I'm going to put some stuff in here that it sounds better. So please indulge us. Today we're going to do tidbits throughout the whole show. I do have lots of things I want to discuss, and we're going to go through one after the other, take on a few things, point out a few things, make sure you know a few things, repeat a few things, if you don't mind. I believe there's some things that need to be repeating and some people that need to be taken on, in that, as we have said to you, we suffer no fools in Washington, D.C. We think they all suck. We think they're all actors and actresses, top to bottom, bottom to top. We went over 40 trillion of debt today. I can just start with that. 40 trillion. And just let me explain that to you, just so you understand. That's 40 trillion they were not supposed to spend by the government. Just so you know. Ages ago, they used to fight over it. They used to fight over the debt ceiling. You know, the word ceiling should mean something. What? I'm looking above me, there's a ceiling, I can't get through it. Can't get above it. Well, the Morlocks in D.C. recognized, well, we got away with 2, let's go to 4. Oh, we got away with 4, let's go to 6. And we're at 40 now. The blame is on Trump, before him Biden, before him Obama, before him Trump again, before him Obama, and before him Bush. Before that, we had debt but it was nominal. It started with Bush, the compassionate conservative, went to Obama, went to Trump, who we were told while he was campaigning, I'm Donald frickin' Trump, the greatest businessman on earth. I'll knock out the debt and deficits like that. Went to Biden, who I don't think could add 2 + 2, but that's besides the point. And he supersized it with the Inflation Reduction Act, which they admitted cannot do anything about inflation, and back to Trump, who lied again, and they all lied, by the way, and they did nothing about it with $40 trillion. $1.4 trillion is going towards interest. I want to let you know that in the year 2000, all our federal spending was 1.8. And they don't care. And when we say to you they all suck, that's what we mean. 40 trillion. We'll start with that. Tidbits. The 30-year yield. That is the 30-year bond. If you bought a 30-year bond today, what would you get on a yield? Well, it closed at 5.275 today, which is a high going back 27 years. Why would that be? Why would yields be going higher when they tell us inflation is in check? Well, because they're lying about inflation. But maybe, just maybe, the bond market has had enough of the bullcrap. 40 trillion. The 10-year yield closed at 4.745, multi-year high. There is something called the TLT. It's just the ETF for bonds. That hit a 2007 low. Kevin Hassett, the head of the Trump economic advisors, had the nerve to say today rates could stay steady. He lied. So we're just letting you know the cost of capital, the cost of mortgages are heading higher and are breaking out of range. And the higher they go, how do I put it? The more potential trouble we're going to have. Remember the words I have used for a long time. They're taunting the markets with their debt. What's the other line I use? They all know that they'll either be dead or retired when it all blows up. Well, it hasn't blown up yet. They don't care. Trump don't care. Biden didn't care. Trump before him didn't care. Obama didn't care. Bush didn't care. Before that, I think we were at $4 trillion of debt, which was still sucked. But under Bush, it started getting going. And then the Iraq war, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that, pay for this, pay for that. Just letting you know. Tidbits to start the show. And we take no joy in this, but they all suck. And do not believe them when they say, well, it's Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. Do not believe it's just that. And do not forget, they've done nothing about fixing that for ages. Why? Because if you try to fix Social Security, you're throwing grandma off the ledge, and they lose votes. So nothing's been done, except your taxes have gone up to pay for it. And we'll see who has the grapefruits going forward to do something about it. Tidbits. Kevin Hassett lied today. The past few presidents have been giving you the middle finger. Tidbits. And when you go get your mortgage and realize, it's going to be higher than it was a month ago, and you'll know why. Tidbits. We start with that. Up next, tidbits, things that matter. This is the one only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Tidbits. By the way, I flew out of President Donald J. Trump International Airport yesterday. As you know, I went to South Florida and I flew out of President Donald J. Trump International Airport. Just letting you know. Tidbits. SpaceX. Down almost $4 today. Almost the low. Well, it's the new closing low. A new closing low. The low was 4 days ago, intraday at 107.01, closed at 108.15. I keep getting asked, well, where would you buy it? Well, we don't work that way. We will consider it when it stops going down. And I believe it's still got a $1.5 trillion market cap with $18 billion in revenues, $5 billion loss. Had to go into, well, I don't know if they had to, but they went into the bond market for $25 billion, and they have negative cash flow. I do believe they report next week. And I do believe they're going to have strong growth going forward. But I also believe, and I warned you guys, for the past couple of years, they've been bringing out everything, ridiculous prices, and most every IPO has crumbled. Some of them down 90%. Remember that GEMI that came out? That's the two twins. I forgot their names. Winklevoss. And by the way, this is not a rub on them, but I'm just dealing in facts. A $28 deal. Opened at 47, closed same day at 32. It's $3.92. They're firing everybody. It was a cryptocurrency exchange. Anyway, so just let you know, tidbits on SpaceX. I don't know where it lands. All I know is it's still ridiculous valuation here. And the other part that nobody ever talks about, they're shooting rockets up into the air. Blue Origin from Amazon, one of them blew up. What, you don't think that could happen? I'm not saying it is, and I'm not wishing for that. Of course not. And thankfully, Blue Origin, there was nobody on board. But they're rocket ships. Hope you listened. We told you from day one, when it went up for a couple of days, we had no edge. When it dropped, we had no edge. Where did we do have an edge? We told you at 150 that if it broke 150, it would invite selling because that was the opening price of the IPO. It would invite selling because that means everybody in the aftermarket is losing money. What was our second edge? 135. We told you if it broke 135, it will invite more selling. Why? It was the IPO price. That means everybody's losing. And you know, blame. People were paying $225 2 days later. Blame them. But they brought it out at a ridiculous price. 1.77 trillion at IPO. What did I say that day? It's a joke of a price to come out. And at that price, they're simply giving you $1 bills after you give them a $5 bill. So again, we'll stay on top of it. We'll let you know. But wow, it's a disaster. Next, tidbits. Bitcoin. We didn't do that yet, right? Good. It may break down again. As we said to you, at the lows, it's been pretty much hanging. Rallied up a little bit, but never got going. And I have to tell you, it may be starting to roll over. If you have a chance, go look at the IBIT or GBTC. It may be looking to roll over, and if it does, you know what we tell you. It's going to invite a lot of selling. And I must tell you, I got an email from somebody, come to wherever, we're having a crypto conference, we're so confident, and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm thinking to myself, do these dudes not know this is a brutal bear market for all of crypto, and it's not just Bitcoin? That it's utter destruction? Let's continue along those lines. MicroStrategy. Looks like Bitcoin. I believe they reported earnings. I don't know even how they report earnings, but they reported a big loss. But the one I really want to talk about is Coinbase. COIN reported a $1.36 loss, 19% drop in sales. It is at almost new yearly lows. It is down about 10 months ago, $410 to $146. Coinbase. I believe the old high was $445 back in July of 25. You're welcome. And we're still receiving dozens of inquiries on crypto. Now, in a normal world, when something is going down a lot, we're not getting dozens of inquiries about it. Usually it's silent. That tells us people are still in their crypto and have not sold. And they're getting a shellacking. We want you to remember it's in a bear market, in a downtrend. And it can hardly rally off these lows. Bounced a little bit. If it breaks the lows, I can promise you there'll be another wave of selling. Why? Because it's been sitting at these lows now for 9 weeks. And the longer it sits there and then breaks to the downside, the more pressure there is going to be. Wish we had better news for you on that. And of course, all the Bitcoin type companies and stocks and all the Trump promises on his Bitcoin assets, they're getting destroyed. Destroyed. The Suns did some stuff with crypto. What's this one? ABTC is the symbol. It's only gone from 217 down to 5. Hey, up next, lots more tidbits. Hope you're listening. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. So, tidbits. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are part of the Mag 7. They were 475 Dow points to the better today. Again, the Dow was up 276. Apple did not help again, down 24, was down 32. Some other things were down. But a big wow, because again, Amazon and Microsoft may be in play. Amazon was real strong today. Now Google got hit hard on earnings, gapped down, filled the gap, and even better, it was up $22 today. I didn't see any news, but the market now is ignoring that. So 3 important names, while again, Apple, guidance was terrible. A lot of jello moving on the plate. But warning shots. At around 3 p.m. today, we wrote to our peeps again. that if we had grapefruits, we'd be shorting the SOX, the semiconductor index. It was up like 150 at that time, finished up 8. Was up 580 at the open. They distributed. I'm just letting you know, pattern recognition. I think the semiconductors and artificial intelligence, all it has done, gap up yesterday, gap up today, but miserable failure today. I think all it was a stretched, extended, and oversold bounce. And I'm very worried about the artificial intelligence semiconductor play. At the close of the day, Micron, think that's an important name? Opened up today at $931, closed at 820. Not making this up. You can add that number up. SanDisk opened today at 1,404, closed at 1,214, $190 reversal. They sold into it. Seagate finished up $4 today. At one time today, hit 921, closed at 853. What's 47 and 21? That was the reversal. $68. My artificial intelligence screen, Light, was up 70 or 80, finished up 20. Celestica finished down 21. Just reversals off the highs early. So your handsome and buff toast, just a warning shot. Be careful with the semis and artificial intelligence names. It would have been a lot worse today if not for Amazon, Google, Microsoft. Nvidia was up 5 today. I'll give it that. But Nvidia, I'll just call that no man's land. Tidbits. And I have one screen of semiconductors. Was Irish green on the open? It's half down today. NXPI was down $16. ASML was down $22. Let's see. ASML, very important equipment stock. Open today at $16.92. Actually, not as bad. It was only up 60 or 70 on the open. We're wary. AMD finished down 9 on the day. On the open today was 515, closed at 476. $50. So it was up 40 early. We're wary. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Something's up. Which takes me to, I don't know if you've read, I have to tell you, I was a little bit demoralized today. On Twitter, people were making fun of a guy. People were making fun of a guy that was Wall Street's darling in the last year. And to say the least, he just got his butt kicked. He unfortunately was in the AI stuff and leveraged up the wazoo. It turns out he was up 450%, was able to attract like $40 billion. By the way, I think in his low 20s. Low 20s. I believe he's still up like 80% this year, but had to sell off his book. I think the fund was called Situational Awareness. The guy's name is Leopold Aschenbrenner. I'm not sure where he's from. Obviously, he's a foreign from somewhere. 25 years old. People were making fun of him. Losing money. Ladies and gentlemen, never make fun of people losing money. Forget the karma part. Never make fun of people losing big money. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on Twitter today. X. One after the other. It was like, ha. Demoralizing. They're saying he was the blame for the big drop recently in AI and semis. Now, maybe he was a little, but that doesn't account for the fact that AI and semis topped out weeks and weeks ago. So I'm not buying into that whole story. Tidbits. Well, the new central banker, the head of the central bank, Kevin Warsh, I'm going to praise him big time. Do you know what he's come out and stated or leaked? He's considering fewer Fed meetings during the year. I love that. I love that. I love that. If he does that, he gets my praise. Big time. There's too many meetings. They're too overrated. I would love, turn it into 4 quarterly. I'd be happy as happy can be. That's a tidbit that came out late this afternoon. Wow, that's cool. Tidbits. You know, I said to you about Amazon and Google, good day today, bouncing off of a gap to the downside. Amazon, a big gap to the upside today, up 36. Just Amazon today, 36 times 6.5. 18, 636, 216, about 200. The Dow was up 276. It was most of the Dow. Amazon's has now negative cash flow. Google, negative cash flow. Meta was up 17 today after gapping down yesterday. Almost negative cash flow. By the way, Meta, big gap down yesterday, filling the gap today. So it was MAG's game on today. They better keep game on, because as we came back and said, I'm very wary of the artificial intelligence semiconductors at this juncture. And interesting enough, as I stated, at 3 p.m. today, approximately, I said to my peeps, when the SOX was up 150, if I had grapefruits, I would be shorting it, but I worry about walking in Monday on another gap. We'll see. Up next, more tidbits. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Thanks for being with us. As we said, tidbits. Oil prices were up today. The president says he doesn't trust Iran. What are they? What's the 3 words? No blank Sherlock. Duh. Tidbits. The president said he has cut some sort of peace deal with Hamas, that they will disarm, but they first want Israel to get out of Gaza. Let me send a message to the president. Hamas is never going to disarm. They are animals. They are depraved animals. They are murderers. They are terrorists. They have stated they would like to do 1,000 October 7th. So the wishful thinking of the president is I don't even know what to say. I'm going to hope. But as of today, Hamas is murdering people in Gaza who they think has gone against them. And not only are they murdering people in Gaza, but they are torturing them. And that's who our president thinks is going to disarm themselves? I don't think so. We'll hope. But that was part of the tidbits today. Just want to let you know. Him saying he doesn't trust Iran in the negotiations, that comes under one word, duh. As we've said for a while now, and we take no joy, total miscalculate. The president can talk all he wants, complete miscalculation, and it's cost lives, injuries, and a lot of money. Lives first, of course, and we're still in it. And I must tell you, how the hell are we going to come out of it? We can't look like we're giving up, even though a couple weeks ago it looked like we were. Don't know. So oil prices back up again. The president's still with the big threats, but we think he's got to be careful about that, because if we go $100 oil again and higher, they're already going to lose the midterms. They may lose the Senate. And then look out. Tidbits. Tidbits. Well, the Dow was up 276. The S&P was up 52. The NASDAQ was up 251. The NASDAQ 100 was up 167. But advanced declines both on the New York and NASDAQ were down. And you ready for this? Many more new yearly lows than new yearly highs on both the New York and NASDAQ. What does that tell you? That takes us back to what we said to you. We're a little bit on the wary side here. And when I see leading names like Micron and SanDisk and Seagate and Western Digital and a bunch of other semiconductors open hot today, and institutions give the middle finger to them and sell them off into the close, to the point where the SOX was up 580 on the open, finished up 8. And now in the aftermarket's down. Yes, there is an aftermarket Friday afternoon. So we're wary. Tidbits. The saviors again today. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft are in the Dow. 475 Dow points today, with the Dow only up 276. By the way, Nvidia was up 5 and change, so that's about 40 Dow points. Almost 40 Dow points. And of course, Apple weighed down. Down $24, was down 32. So a lot of jello moving on the plate. Let me repeat something again. With those indices up, advanced declines were negative, and many more new yearly lows than new yearly highs on the New York and NASDAQ. Let's keep that in mind as we go into the weekend. Biotech breaking down, pharma getting in trouble, retail, which was trying back to yuck except a few. Remember, Crocs was one of the strong ones. They gapped that down yesterday. And let me add one last tidbit. There were a lot of blow-ups this week in the market. Companies reporting earnings, and whatever they said blew up the stocks. A lot of them. Don't get me wrong, there were plenty that gapped to the upside. But I am letting you know part of my wariness. And when I go through my webcast this weekend, I'm going to show a couple of hundred stocks that blew up. I'm talking about 10, 15% drops on earnings reports. Some of the earnings reports were good and still dropped. Notwithstanding a Google that also had a big gap down but is recovering quickly for whatever reason, which again was a very big help to the big indices today. So a lot of tidbits for you. Just I would have to repeat, because I saw some technology analysts saying everything's great with the AI and the semis. We here are going to let the market decide that one. And I have to tell you, notwithstanding the big gap yesterday, the big gap today, well, they sold today. And I do believe, and let's assume, we're still in a pretty darn good downtrend, and all we just saw was a vicious bounce. And part of what we tell you, the wide and loose action goes for the upside. Let it play itself out. Don't be a hero. When I tell you SanDisk reversed $160 today, Micron, what did I tell you, $120. That's a lot of cake, kids. Well, have a great weekend. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do, quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well, be well. Peace out all. Good night.